Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today we are doing a short and sweet makeup rehab. This is the video that I go through all the things that I've brought into my collection this month and all the things that are leaving my collection this month. And because I'm on a no buy, I also at the end of the video put in little snippets of and thoughts on some of the newest makeup releases, what my thoughts are on them, if they're going to land on my wish list for the end of the year when I am done with this no buy. And I say short but sweet because there's literally one item coming in and one item going out. So it's going to be short, y'all. It's going to be short, which is unheard of here on my channel. By short, I mean probably a good still 20, 22, 25, maybe even 30 minutes, depending on how chatty I get, because we all know I like to talk. That said, I hope that you all want to join me today for this makeup rehab, which is just really an update on how my no buy is going, and that you love it so much that you want to subscribe before you move on. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. Ultimately, this channel, what I'm doing here, this is my self-care. I love to come out here and talk to y'all about makeup, and I think that you love listening to it or chatting with me also about makeup, because otherwise, why are you here? And if you are here and you are not subscribed and you find that this is more than once that you've been here, I encourage you, please subscribe before you go. I am trying to hit 2,000 subscribers this year. We are super close and I am just super stoked about it. I also have a giveaway coming in a very short 3-ish weeks, because I always do a giveaway during the month of September. That is basically when I celebrate my YouTube anniversary, which is actually this month, but also when I celebrate my birthday, which is actually in September. So I hope that you want to subscribe before you go. And with that said, let's roll into this makeup rehab where I'm literally talking about almost nothing. As I said, there's literally one item that came into my collection and one item that's leaving my collection. I am going to talk first about the thing leaving because I'm actually pretty stoked about it. It was just a mini, but a mini in eyeliner form is actually still quite large. I grabbed an eyeliner that I think was roughly the same size as this was when I started using it. For those of you who don't know, I do an inventory on my channel every single year, and I think I said in that inventory that I was just trying to tackle one black eyeliner at a time, and as soon as I finish one, I pull in another one, I use that one until it's gone, and I currently still have 3 total black eyeliners in my collection, but the one that I had been working on was this one, which was a Pat McGrath, probably Divine Eye something something, right? Because she calls everything divine. This was the eyeliner that I was working on, and I think that you guys can see like the lead, so to speak, is still in there, but I can't sharpen it anymore. I've tried. I even taped the bottom of it so it wasn't just spinning in the sharpener, but I can't sharpen it anymore. Today, I did use it for the very last time in my tight line, and it was starting to, the pencil parts were starting to scratch my eyes, and that's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. So I deemed that it was time to call it an empty, and I'm really excited about that because otherwise I would not have had an empty for this video. As a matter of fact, I wrote on my notes for this, no empties, but this is an empty. Today was the last day that I used it. As I said, this did come in as a mini. I believe I got it in gratis at some point in time when Pat McGrath came into Ulta Beauty, and I believe that this was about the right size of what it was when it came in. It might have been just a little bit shorter, but this is where we're at now. So you can see I used the poop out of it. I think the last black eyeliner that I used up was at the very beginning of this year, and then rolled this guy in, not rolled this guy in, but decided that this was going to be the next black eyeliner that I used. So therefore it's taken me, I mean, it's almost September, right? So it took me almost 8 months to go through a mini black eyeliner, and the biggest reason why is because I only use it in one spot, which is my tight line, but I do use it in my tight line every single day. Even when I'm not wearing makeup, I am wearing black eyeliner in my tight line and mascara, so as to make my eyes pop and look a little bit bigger. I will tell you, this was not my favorite eyeliner. I did not love it. It did transfer quite a bit, and I notice it more, of course, when I don't have any other makeup on my eyes, because when I do have makeup on my eyes, like, you can't really see the transfer happening, right? If there's a different color of eyeshadow or eyeliner on my lower lash line. But when I wasn't wearing makeup and was wearing this as the tight line with my mascara, this was a transferring beast. I did not love this eyeliner, and I would not repurchase this eyeliner. And I'm glad that I got use out of a gratis given mini before thinking that I needed to purchase this. But honestly, like, who needs to purchase expensive eyeliners like this? Listen, I love Urban Decay, not gonna lie, but I don't pay for them full price. I also love Natasha Denona, not, again, gonna pay full price for those. But, like, the majority of the eyeliners in my collection are things like ColourPop, LA Girl. These ones are LA Girl. Like, you don't need a dang expensive eyeliner to get a good eyeliner, and none of these transfer on me in the way that this did. So there's that. I won't repurchase this, but I'm glad to have had it, and super glad for a second black eyeliner mini, or black eyeliner empty in my collection. But that is the only empty that I have for the month of July, which is the empties that we're going over right now. I do think that next month I will have quite a few empties, because I know that quite a few exciting empties, because I know that there is, if you guys watch my project pan, you also know there is a foundation that I'm wearing today, and also a lipstick that I could put on today just to get another use, that I think are going to be gone. What is going on with my lip over here? I am wearing a lip stain, but that looks like I forgot to take the stain off that section of my lip. Who knows? That did a lot, actually, for this lip color. So I do have a lipstick and a foundation that I think will be gone next month. So I'm really excited about some of the empties that are upcoming, but that is the only one that I have currently. And then the only product that is rolling into my collection was friend mail. My girl Kim over at Teacher Loves Beauty, who I have been talking to for, I would guess, about a year now, maybe. We watch each other's content, right? Of course we do. All of us small YouTubers are much like family around here, but we watch each other's content, and I was going through, I think, my Lunar Beauty, I think it must have been my Lunar Beauty ranking video. Either that or best and worst shade in Lunar Beauty. Who knows? I think it was my Lunar Beauty ranking video. I can't remember. But anyways, in it, I talk about Moonspell. Moonspell is my favorite palette from the Lunar Beauty collection that I do have. And I talk about how I kind of missed out on Moonspell 2, but it's still for sale. So, you know, after my no-buy, I might purchase it. And my girl Kim sent me her Moonspell Volume 2, and I am so excited. I think that this went out in the mail. We have a mailbox that's kind of in like a little like box in the middle of the community that we live in, right? And you have a key and you go in and you open your box. Well, because it's not like readily available right at my doorstep like it has been in the past, I forget to get the mail all the time. So I think this must have been in the mailbox for a minute, because when I went and checked the mail, it was stuffed full. Like, the mailbox was stuffed full, and this was in it. And I knew she was sending it. She had told me she was sending it, but it had been a minute. We all get super busy, and I just honestly forgot about it. I think she forgot about it, but then she was like, oh my God, I just remembered. It's on its way on Monday, and look, here it is, and I am so excited. Now, when I opened it up, she had packaged it so well. Nothing broke. I think this shade here was kind of like, it wanted to jump out of the pan, so I just pushed it back in, but she had packaged it so well, and this is it. And y'all, look at my eyes. These are my colors. I love purples and reds on my eyes, and this is just 100% right up my alley and the perfect complement to my collection, and I am so happy to have it. So that said, this is the only thing that's coming. I thank you, Kim, so dang much for sending me this palette. You know, I heart you so dang much. And girl, I miss you on this platform. Like, I miss seeing your videos on this platform. I go back all the time to see if there's one I've missed, because YouTube's just not the best at making sure that we're all notified of the people that we're watching. But those are the two things. One rolling out, one rolling in. My makeup inventory numbers, or my makeup rehab numbers, effectively are staying the same, right? Because we lost one, but we gained one. And what I think that means is that the point system is still at like 24 points, which means if I was purchasing things, I would have 24 items that I could bring into my collection without like failing at this beauty bank of sorts, right? It's just a game. It's just a game. And honestly, the numbers this year are a little bit like just there, right? They don't mean anything this year because I'm on a no buy, so I'm not purchasing anything. So that said, I have brought things into my collection, but I have received so much friend mail this year, and I cannot even imagine this ever having been my life. So I'm very appreciative of the friend mail that I'm receiving. And then of course I have purchased some things via points, and you can check all that out in my makeup rehab playlist. But at the end of this video could be done, but at the end of this video, I do like to go through the products that I have seen on the Instagram and what it has drawn my attention, what maybe will be going on to my wish list to purchase at the end of the year when I do allow myself to purchase makeup again. So I'm gonna scooch over so that I can put some pictures up here for you. And we are going to go to the Instagram, and we are gonna go into my saved folder for new makeup releases, and we are going to start where we left off last time. And where we left off last time, I think we left off with chapter 2. You know, I just have a smidge tidbit of things that I want to say to this. This one came out, and almost immediately they started populating like marketing out there for it being your last chance to receive chapter 1, which tells me that if I don't get this as a gift this year, I am going to be SOL. Because I have to imagine that they'll come out with chapter 3 sometime around November. And if that is the case, because in my mind, they're doing this like seasonally, right? I mean, that's what it feels like to me, even though this one I think is the only one that's really wrapped around a season or seasonality, but it feels like they're doing these seasonally. In my mind, that means they'll come out with the next one in November timeframe. And if I don't receive it by like December, I probably won't receive it at all. So that said, I am going to be asking for it for my birthday from like, you know, whomever, my daughter, the love of my life, whomever wants to buy it for me. But I also asked for a set of BK Beauty brushes from the love of my life. So maybe I'll ask my daughter and my kids to go together to buy it for my birthday. That's what I want for my birthday. But yeah, it makes me very sad because I do want it. But that'll give me enough time, like when the next one, if the next one comes out in November, I have to imagine then the following one will come out in like January or February, and that'll give me enough time because I'll be off my no-buy at that point to get chapter 3. But I want all these palettes. I love my chapter 1 so dang much, and that was friend mail. So couldn't be more excited to have that in my collection. This is from Adept Cosmetics, and this is something that was released mid-month last month, and it is their brand new EBE. What does EBE stand for? The thing that I found that was super interesting about this is not only the color story. I love the color story. I want this palette so dang much. This one will go on my wish list. I like Adept Cosmetics as a brand. I think that their multichromes are phenomenal. Their mattes are okay. They're not necessarily the best, but I have a ton of other brands that I love their mattes from. That doesn't offend me a lot. But what I found was super interesting about this is this palette. Look at this palette. That is a Natasha Denona 15 pan eyeshadow palette. That is, I mean, she doesn't own it, let's be honest, but I think it's amazing that other brands are utilizing the same kind of palette structure that she uses, because her palettes all sit so neatly in my inventory that it just warms my Virgo like organization, like OCD heart. So if Adept starts putting their palettes in this kind of packaging, I will 100% be behind that. I don't know how much this is. It doesn't say how much it is, but it is going on my wish list for next year. I'm certain that this isn't limited edition. It doesn't say it's limited edition. So I'm certain that it's probably something that I can pick up next year. I wonder if I mean, it looks like it. I wonder if it's the plastic with the silicone bottom like Natasha's are. I think it's beautiful. I will definitely have this on my wish list. Speaking of Natasha Denona, this is the new Mini Gloom palette. I think that we all know that I am a Natasha Denona stan. I think that we all also maybe know that the 5-pan mini palettes haven't been something that I have taken the time to own from Natasha Denona until recently. And there are still several mini palettes that I don't own, some that I want. I want the blue one, which I think is still for sale on the Natasha Denona website. I do want this Gloom one. This Gloom one looks right up my alley for those like grungy color story eye looks that I like to do. Yes, I am definitely a purple, pink, and peachy kind of girl as far as eye looks go, but I am also a grungy, dark, and moody kind of eye look girl. I'm the best of both worlds. Just kidding. This is a Cool Tone 5-pan palette for fall, which has rich mossy hues, rich mossy hues it says. It's got olive greens, shimmering pops of taupe and rose. I think that this is beautiful. It looks like it's all new shades. It doesn't look like any of them are duplicates, and you can tell by the number of the shadow. So like it says Cinder is 630 cm. She numbers all of her shadows and then puts their like type of shadow after it, right? So 630 is the shadow number, and then CM is creamy matte formula. So 630 is a high number, so that tells me they're all new shades. Maybe some of them are alike to other ones, but maybe the formulation is just slightly different from other ones in her collection. So there's that. But I'm talking far too long about this palette. I love this mini, I think, far more than I've ever loved a mini. So I'm going to need to get it. And her minis are not that poorly priced, right? We're looking at $27 for 5 shades, which I don't think is a bad price. And it launched on July 17th, and I should be able to get it at Ulta with points the next time I have enough points for a points purchase. The next thing I have on here is this Fenty Unicorn Blizzard Gloss Bomb. I think that this is amazing. It's got that purple in it that I have been, just enamored by recently. I love that it's called Unicorn Blizzard. I love that it's got the purple, the blue, and the white in it. And I love that it's got kind of a cooler toned outcome on the lips than what you typically see in a gloss. It'd be interesting to see if that actually shows up cool toned on certain lip colors, right? Because every gloss is going to be affected by the lip liner that you put underneath it or your own natural lip pigmentation. So and I have so many cool toned glosses that end up looking like warm tones on my lips just because of my lip pigmentation. It drives me bonkers sometimes, but I want this. This is definitely going on the list. I have a gloss bomb issue. Gloss bombs are my favorite gloss formula. So that's going to go on my list. I put in these Hourglass Phantom Volumizing Glossy Bombs. This is just a shade extension, but I did put it in here because I do have 2 of these, and I do think that they're rather nice. They are the kind of formula that, you know, you can only push up so much or you're going to not be able to get it back down. So you have to be kind of careful with them. I do like the inclusion of some of these shades. I don't love this red shade, but I don't love red period, but this is a pretty red. Honestly, I could see that being a red I would use. This Wander shade just looks awful. I can imagine that being like concealer lips on my face. I do like the Invite shade. I think it's a really pretty, like just natural nude kind of shade. I do like the Secret shade. I think that this is a pretty natural, almost kind of a little bit more burgundy than what I've got going on today on my lips. So I could see like picking up those 2. I do love this formula. I think it's a really great formula, but do I think that these are a better formula than some of the other ones that are just like, it does have a little bit of a plumpiness to it, but not like a burny plumpiness? Do I think that they're worth $38 versus the ones that you can also pick up for $20? No. I think that they're good, they're nice, and I'm happy to have the ones that I have, but I have to be honest, I don't know that I would spend $38. I got mine in gratis. I don't know that I'd spend $38 on them. They're good, I like them, but I don't know that they're $38 good. So coming from a person who has these, yes, this shade extension is amazing, but that red is going to go all over your face. Just another picture of that Adept Cosmetics palette. I mean, look at this. This is so pretty. It says, take a look at these shifts in the mirror. Who can name the narrator or famous character that he played, as well as the TV show? What is this based on? FYI, this gorgeous work of art, EBE's extraterrestrial biological entities. Okay. Will be available at Feel Beautiful Canada, which I think is fantastic, so that people who maybe wouldn't be able to get it sent to them can get it sent to. I just think, look at these. They're so pretty. Yep, I want this palette. It's really good to understand what EBE stands for now, but I don't understand. Take a look at those shifts in the mirror. Who can name the narrator or famous character that he played as well? Am I missing something? As well as the TV show. I don't understand. Help me. Okay. The next thing I have on here is another Fenty product. This is a new shade in the Fenty Diamond Bombs. This is Lavender Lover. And this is a one-of-a-kind diamond dusted highlighter that applies like a 3D glittering veil, delivering pure show-stopping sparkle over the face and body. $43. Lavender Lover. I was not a fan of the original Diamond Bomb, and that might be maybe a regretful thing to say, because later in life, like a year ago, I guess, I did purchase the Rose Pave one, and I love it. So maybe that was a regretful declutter as well. Maybe you should have just hung on to it, because later in life I was going to love it. But I am interested in this lavender one. Again, purple. Listen, you can pretty much put anything into purple and green, and I would likely buy it. I love purple and green. So will this be on my list? Yes, it will. It's pretty. It's pretty. And I like the Rose Pave one that I have. I can see me liking that. I put these in here because they're shadow sticks, and I do love shadow sticks. Do I think I need the Tarte ones? No, but I am interested in, I don't know, maybe trying one. I love this little video that they do because they like, you know, put them on and then they wipe them and then they put water over the top of them and then it shows that they're waterproof and all the things. But I think that, I mean, any shadow stick that you get is kind of that same way. Let's be honest, unless they're like, I don't think that NYX's are like that. These ones by Tarte, I also think are maybe a little bit cheaper than what you're going to get from like Hourglass or Bobbi Brown or Laura Mercier, right? So, I mean, maybe they'd be good. I don't love the fact that they're just so dang fat, which is maybe body shaming, but I do like the fact that they have that little like smooshy puff on the bottom of them, which I don't typically like, but it's more of a smudger than it is like a puff. So I do like that. It makes it easy for you to like one and done it and have just that in your makeup bag. I think that's really smart. And I do like Tarte. So listen, my friend Andy purchased me some Divina Cosmetics shadows recently. I brought those in from mail, I think last month, and I am enamored by them. I cannot believe I hadn't tried them prior to this point, and now I want all of them. So these 9 shades are going on my wish list. Do you see these shades on her fingers? Oh my God. Those are beautiful. And I mean, just the gradient that how she has them placed on her fingers and the gradient, so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I want them so much. So put together the ultimate purple fantasy and 9-pan macro collage showing off a sparkle shift. I don't know if this is new shades or what it is. I don't know because it doesn't say, right? But I came across this picture and I had to show you guys because it is so beautiful. I put these P. Louise palettes in here because I think that these are the smartest P. Louise palettes that I have seen in as long as I have been watching like P. Louise unboxings and stuff like that. They have a cool tone, a warm tone, and a neutral tone palette that includes eyeshadows as well as 2 face powders, a blush, and a highlight. And I think that this is smart. Usually P. Louise palettes are as big as my body, to be honest, and they are, I mean, just too big, let's be honest. And like their face palettes have every shade that you might need, and ultimately you purchase that and you might be using like 3 or 4 shades out of the 8 that are in there. So I think that these are really smart. I really love, honestly, the cool tone one and the neutral tone one. I'm not a big fan of this one, the warm tone. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one, but I do like the cool tone in the other one. I don't know that these will go on my wish list, if I'm honest with you, because I've never purchased anything from P. Louise. Not that I don't want to. I would, but their shipping is atrocious. First world problems. I put this on here because this is Revolution coming for the MAC Glow Play blushes. These are their Bouncy Blur blush. Blur into blush with the Revolution Bouncy Blur blushes. These look to be the same formula as the MAC Glow Play. I'd be interested to see if they are the same and if they last as long, because the MAC Glow Plays are some of my favorites. They last forever. And, you know, shockingly, I'm going to say this, like Revolution has become a drugstore brand that I'm not really afraid of anymore. I have an eyeshadow palette that I got from them in gratis that last year that I really actually quite like. It reminds me of some of the Charlotte Tilbury 9-pans that are going around, but I think it is a Huda Beauty Obsessions dupe, and it's actually really good. And I have a cream bronzer that I bought from them for a drugstore video that I did that is phenomenal. Like, I am so happy that I picked it up because I wasn't gonna, because Revolution has never been a brand that I really dig down deep into, but these remind me of the MAC Glow Play, so they might actually end up on a wish list for a updated trying new makeup from the drugstore video. It won't be new at that point, but trying out makeup, trying out drugstore makeup. That might be what we do. These palettes from Urban Decay just stress me out. Number one, I think that the lack of color to these eyeshadow palettes is crazy. Like, there just really isn't, it doesn't appear that there's a whole lot of variety in these eyeshadow palettes. And yes, I know that eyeshadow palettes are not always marketed to the rainbow loving girls, that they are mostly marketed to an everyday eye look kind of person. But I mean, it truly looks like they lack something. There's something that they lack in here. What I think is genius of them is including that circle section is all cream shadows, and I think that's genius of them because we have like Danessa Myricks coming out with, you know, eyeshadow palettes that have a cream and a powder of the same color, and we have like other brands doing this very same thing. So why shouldn't Urban Decay jump on the bandwagon? I think that it's smart of them to do so. When I look at these palettes though, I think that I have never really been the biggest fan of Urban Decay eyeshadows, so these are definitely not going to be ones that I pick up, but also they just don't scream out to me. Do they scream out to you? I'd be interested to hear if they scream out to you. There is a cool tone and a warm tone, and if there was one that screamed out to me more than the other, it's the cool tone one, which is interesting because I think that's the third time you've heard that from me in this video, and I usually am a warm tone kind of girl, or have been for the last several years. This is on here because it's the first official that I have seen Halloween collection that's coming out, and this one is from NYX, and this one is in collaboration with Wednesday, which just came out on Netflix season 2, and I binged it last night. We watched every single episode. It's super good. But I just don't know that they did Wednesday any favor. I do love this. I do love this blush palette. This is pretty. And I love this bronzer slash contour palette. I think that that is cool. If I picked up anything, it would probably be those two things. But I think that this the thing phone umbrella is just a little bit strange to me. It's just weird. Yeah, it's just weird. It's cool, but it's just weird. I think that the eyeliner being in this, you know, violin thing, like if you are storing your eyeliners in just a small little drawer, like this is going to be cumbersome, right? But the fact is it's purple, but I think it'll come across as very black. I do not think this eyeshadow palette does any justice to Wednesday. Like, I get that it's dark and gloomy, but there are different shades of like dark and gloomy that we could have added here, and I don't think that the pink belongs. I honestly don't think that the browns belong either, but I'm not sure how this could have looked different. It just looks boring to me. It's got that pop of pink and that pop of purple, but otherwise it's just a neutral eyeshadow palette, and I don't think it screams Wednesday in my humble opinion. I do kind of dig the purple. What are they calling this? They're color shifting glosses. I do kind of dig the purple one called Nightshade. Again, purple. But I don't love a color shifting lip product. It always just ends up way too pink for me. So will I pick up anything from this? If I picked up anything, it would be these stained glass cheek palettes. Both the blush and the contour one I thought were really cool, but I probably wouldn't pick up anything else. And honestly, I don't need another face palette, so I don't even know that I'd pick up those. This is a new Cosmic Brushes palette. This is their Smolder palette, and this is the swatches of it. I don't think, a picture of the actual palette, but I love these swatches. These remind me a little bit of the Emo Adept Cosmetics palette just a little bit. I'm going to pop a picture up in here as well of that because maybe I'm just thinking it reminds me of those, but they're completely different. But I have the Emo palette on my wish list as well. So this is probably going to have to go on the wish list also. And this one's a lot more inexpensive. You know, cosmetic brushes is a lot easier to get your hands on from a price point perspective. So I would probably pick this one up before the Emo one. I think that their palettes are pretty compensatory as far as formulation goes. This is the Blend Bunny Ellis collab, the most recent Ellis collab, and I think that they did an Ellis collab before, so, and it went off really well, so why not do it again? I think we now have, and I mean, it's out. There are videos about it. I think that it's pretty. I don't know that I need it, if I'm honest with you, but the palettes do intrigue me. I love the artwork on the palette. I love that one palette is, you know, all shimmers, really beautiful, like shimmery shimmers. I think that that is smart. I love it. This is just another video on the Question Beauty Chapter 2. Clearly it has my attention. This is new shades, just new single eyeshadow shades from, is this Suku? I don't know. I have no idea what this is, but new at Selfridges. So you know they're dang expensive, but when I saw the price of these single eyeshadows, I about fell out because they are $31 a piece, as you see right there, but they're just plain. They're just plain old shimmer and matte eyeshadows. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's no, what? Have any of you tried this eyeshadow formula? Is this an eyeshadow formula that we need in our life? Because if not, I just don't understand why somebody would pay $31 for a single shadow that is not special. It's on this list because I was just like, help me understand. That's it. Hourglass has showed us their animal themed palettes that are launching for fall, for their holiday, right? Fall winter 2025 season. There are 3 new limited edition 6-pan palettes with absolutely beautiful packaging, in my opinion, which this is by Chic Profile 4. These are the most beautiful packaging that they've had, and I would have to agree, ask, disagree. Like, I don't know if I love florals, and I think that that is my, I don't love florals. Florals has this like old lady like connotation in my connotation in my mind. It has this old lady thought process in my mind. So every time I see a floral on clothing, on whatever, I think, oh, that's for an old lady. And all of these palettes have a semblance of florals to them, although they also have animals. I do love horses. This horse one is really pretty, but that is way too light for my skin. That one, it has a deer on it, and I think that that one would probably be the one that I would pick up if I was going to pick up one, or this one. But this one feels like it's maybe too dark for my skin. But honestly, if I am 100% honest with you, like, they have all kinds of them here, right? And I think that you can put, if they do it like they did last year, which I don't know if they will, you can put any powders into, on their website, you can put any powders into any of the palette components that you want to. And I would probably choose the octopus one from years ago if I was going to, because that has always been the component that got away. I do have the elephant one, but that's the other thing. I have the elephant one and I hardly ever use it. So do I really need another one? Probably not. But I don't think that these new components are the prettiest. What do you guys think? These from Too Faced, these are their Cloud Crush Whipped Lip and Cheek colors. These are their Cloud Crush formula, which I have a powder version of that Cloud Crush formula oh my god, blush. And I do like it a lot. I don't know that I would pick up a cream formula of it or a more liquidized formula of it. I think that they are pretty. I wouldn't really get into the whole combination use of them. I just don't do that, which I understand that that's what they're doing maybe for the monochromatic. I really love this Love Potion color. I think it's pretty, but again, it's one of those dark vampy colors that probably is not going to look good on my skin tone. I kind of like the Hopeful Romantic one. Super Candy Clouds is that like pink one that doesn't look good on my skin tone, but I love. Cool Tone Pink. Bed of Roses is pretty new, natural, normal kind of color. These are multi-use lip and cheek, 8 versatile shades infused with hyaluronic oil, hydrating, 12-hour, fade-resistant wear, blurring. I like the Too Faced blushes. I think that they are really, really good. These are $28 each. I don't know that these would go onto my wish list because again, I'm just not, I love a cream formula, but I'm not really a fan of like a liquid-ish formula of blush. I just feel like there's too much that can, like I have more problems, I guess, applying a liquid formula than I do a cream formula. So I probably wouldn't purchase these, but I do love the powder version of that formulation. So I can see these being really nice. We have Urban Decay that has been all over makeup news lately because they have reformulated and put them into a new component, all of their setting sprays. I have to be honest with you, Urban Decay is one of my favorite setting sprays, and if they are using a different formulation, I don't know that I will want to purchase a different formulation because I already also know that I love the Benefit Professional Super Setter and the MAC Fix Plus. So if I have those two that I know I can rely on, why would I then also purchase a brand new formulation of the Urban Decay? And I know that they've changed the formula, which is part of the reason why they've been all over makeup news lately. I would go with Scandinavia that has the same formula because they've been producing the Urban Decay All Nighter for them for years. So I don't care if their mist is more fine. I didn't have a problem with the Urban Decay All Nighter mist before. I just think that how it has been in makeup news lately has been gross. It's been gross and dirty, and also I really like the old Urban Decay formula, and ultimately that is the reason why I would choose not to buy the new one, is because I don't think that the new one would suit my preferences as much as the old one does. And if the old one is still on the market in some way, which it is, then I will just continue to buy from that one. So I will be switching my Urban Decay All Nighter purchases over to Scandinavia to get that same formula that I love. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are on this. I just think that it's been dirty and messy what's going on in beauty news for this. I put these on here because Folklore is a brand that I have been, kind of side-eyeing for a minute now, and they have some new eyeshadow singles that look like this, and I just want your guys' thoughts and opinions. Have you tried Folklore? And if you have, what are your favorite products from Folklore? And have you tried any of their eyeshadows? These look stunning. These look beautiful, and they make me want to try them. So I'm interested in maybe purchasing from this brand once my no-buy is over. So I'm interested in your guys' thoughts. New scents or new flavors of the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss. You guys know that is my all-time favorite, most recent all-time favorite lip gloss formula. And we currently have some new flavors. This one, which is kind of like a, bronzy or champagne-y, like gold shade called Cream Soda. There we go. There's the names. Cream Soda. And then we have this orangey one that is called Peach Rings, which I am so interested in. I love peach rings. And then we have this green one, which I am also really interested in, called Green Apple. It looks like it shows up more as a clear. I mean, they all kind of show up a little bit clear-ish, right? But I love this formula of lip gloss. So these will likely end up on my wish list, and these guys are $22 a piece. I have this Down to Earth palette, and this is a sneak peek from Simply Posh. Simply Posh is a brand that I do want to try out. I don't know much about this palette. It just caught my eye. The color story in here is really pretty. I love that it's called Down to Earth. It looks like it's kind of like sand duney, like summery feel. I think that this maybe has launched already, but this palette, once I see it, I'll be able to know more. But the color swatches here really draw me in. Like those teals with that yellow, so pretty. This is just another picture of the Blend Bunny Volume 2 collection with Alice. I love this palette. I love this palette so much, would probably purchase that. I don't know that I would purchase anything else from the collection except for maybe the shimmery palette, because if you're going to have, you know, the matte one up top, which does appear to be all matte, then you of course need the shimmers as well. So I would probably purchase those two. This is by what is this? MBA Cosmetics. I don't know anything about this brand, but this palette, Synergy palette, looks interesting. There's no swatches on it, so I just put it in here because it piqued my interest and I side-eyed it for a minute. It's got a lot of those like teals and blues, or teals and yellows. It reminds me a lot of like a summery or maybe even spring toned eyeshadow palette. I think that it's interesting. It's an interesting choice for the time of year that we're looking at right now. It has already launched because it was available for pre-release when I put it in here, and the shipping would be the 1st through the 3rd. It's interesting to me that there's not really any swatches on this posting, but there was swatches I think that were posted at a different time. These colors just look really nice to me. The thing that draws me away from it, of course, is that it's an all shimmer palette, and I don't really love all shimmer palettes. I don't even know how much this is either, so there's that. This is a new brand that is at Ulta Beauty now. It's called Fui, and I put it in here because it's kind of cutesy and kind of childlike, but also it does look, I love this. This is like an what is this called? Finger-like silicone lip brush, and there is a oversized jumbo silicone jumbo brush too, which is that one. We've done that before, right? But this is K Beauty, and I think that maybe they just know how to do it right. This finger-like silicone lip brush I absolutely want. Why? I don't know, because it looks fun. But that's a new brand that came to Ulta Beauty. So if you know anything about Fui, please let me know. I know that some of my friends out there are, you know, K Beauty stans. So I know that you know some things. So if you could give me your intel, that would be super. This is something that drew my attention from Diverine Cosmetics. They are also a brand that has been on my list for a minute. This is $66 US, I do believe, and it is called Magnetic Mineralia, right? This color story screams Donna. That is what this color story screams, in my humble opinion. Although I do think that it is a little bit more neutral than I would love for it to be. It is a grungy neutral, and that warms my heart. And those pops of green and pops of purple in there with all those beautiful shimmers, and the fact that it's mostly matte versus shimmer. This palette will be on my list for next year. Diverine Cosmetics is a brand that I've been wanting to try anyways, so it just has to be on my list, right? That green thing is water activated liner, which I can't use because my eyes just water too much. It's got a highlighter, a single shadow, a quad. So the palette is $66. The Somber Solace, which I think is that quad there, is $20. Meteor Liner quad is $9. Garnet Single up at the top is $14. The Opal Highlighter is $24. You can get the whole bundle for $120. 133 if sold separately, and it launched on the 3rd. So, I mean, I think that this is beautiful. I really do. I want that palette for sure. I don't need that quad. Yeah, I definitely don't need that quad. I do want this. I do think that these water activated liners are very pretty and I would totally use them, but they're water activated. My eyelids or my eyes just water too much. And that highlighter is, I mean, interesting to look at, but not super interesting on the skin, which I think is interesting. So, and then we have new holographic eye paints. This is just a shade extension. About Face already does this kind of thing, so I have some of these and I absolutely love them. I think that these are great. I love this shade extension. This one that's kind of like unicorn tear like. I love that one. I love that one. This one I probably wouldn't need, the kind of like yellow, red, like fiery color. I probably wouldn't need that one because I have it, but I have these and I love them. They're great. I am a fan of the fluid eye paints from About Face. I think that they are amazing. So like a recommendation if you've been eyeing them, they are really good. That's it. That's all I got for you. We went through all of it and I am working on an hour and 2 minutes. So who knows how much I'm going to be able to cut this down, but you guys, I said this was going to be short and that I didn't have much on my list, but apparently I had a lot more than I thought I did. So there's that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this. Makeup rehab, no buy update. Will I buy it? For my channel. I appreciate every single one of you for being here today. I hope that you all loved it so much. And if you did, please leave me a comment down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit your girl up down there. I do love hearing from you down there. Answer all the questions. Tell me what you've tried. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time, bye friends.